everybody. My name is Dory Larson. I'm the Electric Vehicle Program Coordinator with the Southern Alliance for Clean Energy, and we are here today to do a virtual ride and drive with the Tesla Model 3. So while we are still social distancing with COVID, my family got together to be able to show you what a ride and drive would look like. So this is my husband Jeff, who's going to be doing the driving. My son Andrew is doing the filming, and we're going to take a loop. So let's take a look at the outside of the car first. To control the car, I have an app on my phone. So I click on the little Tesla app, and it allows me to adjust controls, show me where charging is. I can summon the car all with my phone. But there's also this key card so that in case the phone goes in the pool or something, we can still get into our car and drive it. So to get into the car, pretty easy. Put your thumb on this portion here, and then you just kind of grab it and pull out. I want to show you what the front trunk or the front looks like. So I'm going to hit controls, and then I'm going to hit front, and it's going to ask me, are you sure? Yes. And then it pops the trunk open, so you can see what that looks like. Voila.
There's no engine there.
There is no engine there. And then we'll walk around and see the back of the car. Again, I will hit the app. Trunk, are you sure? Yes. And then you can see how big the trunk is, and then there's extra space there. So no spare tire. If you have a blowout, you've got to call Tesla Roadside Service, and they'll come get you a new tire. All right, should we go for a ride?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. All right, so we're here in the interior of the car, and the car is on, so you can hear how quiet it is.
I don't hear anything.
Correct. And the car starts automatically when you have the app on, or you can put the car key down here in the front, and then that turns it on as well. So to get yourself set, let's adjust the mirrors and make sure you're comfortable. So you hit the little car, and then you hit the mirrors, and then it's this knob here. So it scrolls up and down to raise it, and then you can also turn it side to side with your thumb.
Got it.
All right, and then we'll adjust the right mirror. It's the same button.
Same button. All right, perfect.
Great. And then do you want to adjust the steering wheel? Let's show people how you do it.
All right.
So you hit the steering wheel, and then it's that same button, and you can toggle it up or down.
And I can go in or out too.
Correct.
Oh, that's nice. Very good.
Comfortable?
Yeah.
All right. All right. And then the only other thing is, this is the only manual thing in the car, so your rear view mirror if you want to adjust that. So to go somewhere, you basically push up on the stalk and puts it in reverse, and then you can see the big rear backup camera and also the side camera. So there are 5 cameras on the exterior of the car that are filming all the time. And actually it's pretty cool. When you put it into drive, push down, just so we can get the camera to go away and show it. This little button here is showing that it's recording. So
is that what that red dot means?
Correct. So it's called dash cam, and the entire time the car is running, it is recording, and then it's actually saving the images, the video, to this memory card here. So if you're in an accident, you can actually pull the memory card out and watch what the camera's filmed.
Great.
And then this is the port for charging your Android phone, or your Apple phone and your Android phone. So kind of cool. Close that up. But if we want to get going, then we can just navigate. So let's say we want to go to Sunset Beach. We just type in Sunset Beach. It's 3.2 miles away, and it will give us turn-by-turn directions here, and away we go. So to push up on the stalk to get in reverse.
I'm in reverse.
And then away we go. So one of the things that people love about electric vehicles is the instant torque. So there's a single speed transmission, so it just has this get up and go as soon as you put your foot on the accelerator. So we are going to test that out right now as soon as we get a clearing in the traffic.
So this car accelerates faster than most gas cars?
That is definitely true.
I'm going to try it right now.
All right, here we go.
Wow.
Isn't that great?
Wow, that is quick.
Yeah, so all electric cars have that instant torque. Even like my Nissan Leaf or the Chevy Bolt, they all have that real quick get up and go. And you don't feel that jerky feeling when you're getting into
No, it's very
gear.
smooth.
Yeah, it's a real smooth, quiet ride. Let's talk about the cost to fuel this car. So it's not being fueled with gasoline, it's being fueled by electricity. Electricity is a lot cheaper than gasoline. So it costs about 3.5 cents per mile to drive an electric vehicle, and it costs about 10 cents per mile to drive a traditional gasoline car. So it's a lot cheaper. If you want to go 1,000 miles, it would be about $35 in fuel costs, whereas that same trip would be close to $100 with gasoline.
Wow. What about oil changes?
No oil changes. So there is no engine, so there's no oil to change. There's also not any of the spark plugs or any of the moving parts. So the maintenance on an electric vehicle is much, much cheaper and infrequent than with a traditional car. So we want to show how this car has the semi-autonomous driving feature. And the way that it works is it's reading the cameras on the outside of the car are reading the lines of the street and also reading the vehicles in front of us. So when you have this little symbol on, you tap twice on the stalk and then it will stop on its own. So it's slowing down on its own.
So I'm not touching the brake, it's doing it.
It feels the car in front go, so it's going to come up to the stop sign and stop on its own.
Do I need to tell it to go now that
Yes.
when it's my turn?
Yes, so hit the gas a little, and then it came off, so we'll go ahead and put it back on as soon as it reads the symbol. There we go. And it's going to match the speed limit, but we're going to turn it down just a little bit just by scrolling on this button here. And then it should be able to read the lines and stay within the lane.
So I'm not touching the wheel, it's driving right now.
Right. And we'll turn it down just a little bit more, drop the speed a little bit more, even though the speed limit's 30. And then watch how it takes the turn all by itself.
Wow.
Isn't that great?
It's amazing.
And then you can speed it up a little bit by hitting the button here again. So you don't even have to use the accelerator. You can just drive with it.
And it knows there's a car up there.
It does know there's a car up there. It knows the speed limit's 20. It knows what the speed limit is, and it's going to keep us in those lanes. We'll turn it down just a little bit so we can go around the curve. And then there's a speed bump here, so we'll turn it down a little bit more. And there we go. Let's see how it does on the bridge. So we've turned the speed way down.
So as the driver, anytime I want, I could take over.
Absolutely. So to take back over, you just grab the steering wheel or put your foot on the brake or tap up on the stalk. But either way, it can, all three will disengage the autopilot. Doing a pretty good job, huh?
It does a very good job. Maybe a little better than me.
One of the benefits of electric transportation is the lack of emissions. So there's two different types of emissions that we're talking about. One are greenhouse gas emissions that amplify climate change, and then there's also criteria pollutants that are harmful to human health. And those come off of burning and combustion. So there's no tailpipe. So we don't have any of those emissions being emitted at the car level. Obviously, there are some emissions, though, associated with the electricity or the generation of the electricity to fuel the car. So obviously, at a power plant, there are emissions coming off of that are tied to the car because you need those the electricity to make the car run.
And some power plants are cleaner than others.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, that even with the dirtiest coal power plants, the emissions generated to fuel an electric car are still under half the emissions that a regular car generates. And the cool thing is, a lot of the utilities have committed to 100% renewable power within the next 20 or 30 years. So as the grid keeps getting cleaner, electric vehicles are continuing to get cleaner as well. So here we are at our destination at Sunset Beach, and we'll pop out why don't we park, and then I can show you some of the other fun things about the car. So I wanted to show you some other features here. So obviously there's no odometer or any dash or anything other than this right here. This is where you see everything. So this shows you how many miles you have left of driving. This is a long range Model 3 Tesla. So it has 310 miles when it's fully charged. This is showing the battery pack along the bottom of the car. And then those are the dual motors. This car only has the rear motor.
So this green is showing how charged it is right now?
Right. So we have 156 miles until we would need to charge again. And you can change the amount that you want the battery to be filled up to. So it's not healthy to charge it all the way up all the time. So when you're daily driving, you typically set it to about there, hit done, and then you can open your charge port. To find a charging station, you hit the little charging button here, and it shows all of the red dots. So those are actually superchargers or a DC fast charge. So we showed people the ways to charge with a regular 110 or a 240 line, with the level 2 charging. This is DC fast charging, and
so it's even faster?
It's even faster. So when you're wanting to, say go to Tennessee, you can literally just type in Knoxville, and then it will show you all of the charging stations that you need to charge at and tell you how long you'll be charging there. So we would stop in Ocala, we would stop in Tifton for 30 minutes, Atlanta for 35 minutes, and then we're in Knoxville.
But that's if we started now when we're only halfway charged.
Right.
We probably wouldn't have to stop as many times if we were fully charged when we left.
Correct. So these, like I said, are the DC fast chargers. It also shows you, when you click on the little button, all of these little gray dots, and the little gray dots are level 2 chargers. So those are community charging that you can find out about in town as well. So you never really are without a way to charge, because the car tells you all of the different places, and it actually navigates for you and tells you how to get there. So if I click on the Clearwater Supercharger, it literally will show me how to get there, turn by turn directions.
So some people mostly charge at home, but other people use the various charging stations around town.
Exactly. And then there's also apps on your phone that you can use. So if you don't have a Tesla, like we have a Nissan Leaf, I can use the app on my phone that shows me where the charging stations are as well. So that's charging and navigation. I also want to show you some of the silly things that that Elon Musk decided to do. So if you click on the little button here, you can do entertainment. And these are all video games or chess that you can sit and play when your car is in park. Or you can sit and watch Netflix. Or you can also, and this is really kind of fun, you can do
Toy box.
you can do
Is that what I think it is?
it is exactly what you think it is. So you can,
That's a whoopee cushion.
they put a whoopee cushion, and you can move the whoopee cushion around. You can change the sound.
And what is this? It says romance.
So this is called sexy mode. So it literally puts the heat on, which is really hot right now in Florida, and
there's a fire in the
puts
fireplace.
a fire in the fireplace for you.
That's great.
Isn't that hysterical? You can also, if you want, you can start drawing on your
Wow.
Tesla. So tons of fun things to do with the toy box. And then there's also the internet. So if you want to search the web, you can do that. And it's going to take us to tesla.com so we can see other merch. And then the music is a lot of fun too. So you can choose music from your phone, or you can also go from a playlist, or you can go from the radio, or you can stream, or if you want to do karaoke, you can literally make the Tesla a karaoke machine and have a rock out session in the car.
Have a karaoke party in the Tesla.
But knowing how you sing, we are not going to subject folks to that today.
I need an auto singer like it has auto driving.
Exactly. Okay, so we're going to talk about how you charge the car. So this is called level 1 charging or trickle charging, and it's basically an extension cord where one end goes into the car and the other is plugged into a regular outlet.
A regular outlet, just like everybody has in their home.
Right, so you can charge pretty much anywhere there's a 110 outlet. You can plug in and charge your car. So you just plug it into the wall and then come over to the charge port and plug it in, and then you add about 5 miles.
So hold on, it's charging right now?
Yep, it's charging. So you add about 5 miles per hour with this, so it's not a fast charge, but if you leave it overnight, you can add about 50 miles in the 10 hours that you're sleeping.
So how much faster could you charge a car if you install your own charging station at your house?
That's a great question. So we had an electrician add a 240 line. So this is basically the same type of outlet that you would plug your clothes dryer into, and then we just plug the device into that 240 line. And this gets us about 25 to 30 miles per hour added back on. So it's a lot faster to do the level 2 charging than it is to do the trickle charge. But it's just as simple. You basically unhook the device, and because it's not a Tesla charging station, you have an adapter, so you literally just clip it on like that and then plug it into the car. Just like that.
How expensive is it to install a level 2 charger?
Another great question. So it cost about $150 to have the electrician drop the line, and then you can get a charging station for around $200 or up to $1,000 depending on what you're looking for. They're just like those thermostats at home that you can adjust with your smartphone. You can charge them at different times of the day when it's cheaper, when the electricity is cheaper.
So they connect to Wi-Fi.
They can connect to Wi-Fi. So there's lots of different bells and whistles you can get, but a basic one starts at about $200. So one of the cool things about powering an electric vehicle is that the energy that it comes from can be renewable. So we've added solar panels to the roof of our house, and those obviously panels power our house, and then because we're plugging our car into the electricity from our house, the solar is also powering the car. So it's really generating zero emissions. We're basically driving on sunshine. Well, thanks for joining us. We hope that you learned a few things, had some fun, and we're going to get to your questions next.